What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with Dave and Chris. Dave, so I know this weekend you put some work in. Let the people know what you did.
Yeah, this weekend I watched, after our debate a couple weeks ago about Harry Potter being overrated, underrated, that whole debate, I put in work and watched 20 hours, all 8 of the Harry Potter movies over the course of 4 days.
And
Congratulations. Welcome to the real world.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Now, I think you might have mentioned it last week, but have you seen all of them? Was this the first time maybe seeing a couple of them and you'd seen maybe some of the earlier ones?
So I watched 1, 2, and 3 when I was younger. I mean, It's been 15 years probably since I've seen them. Then I saw 4, the fourth one, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire.
Yep.
So I watched Goblet of Fire one time when it came out, which is also like, 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. So I had seen those. I had not seen 5, 6, and then part 1 and 2 of 7 and 8. So it was it was an experience. It was awesome. 15 years late to the party, and I literally was captivated. On our debate that we had a couple weeks ago, it's tough, man. I get why people are out here debating, or why you wanted to debate whether or not Harry's overrated. You made a good point, and when I was watching them, it kind of resonated with me, the point that you made about he doesn't make the people around him better. Everyone makes him better.
Yep.
And I think that, he couldn't have done much of anything without his friends. I caught myself thinking multiple times, without Hermione, him and Ron are lost. They don't know anything. They're both dumb. But with that being said, elite talent level at the wizard position. The guy is powerful. He takes down Voldemort. He knows, he figures that out at the end on his own, which was impressive. Either way, I think my final position, now educated position on it.
Yep. And before you give it, I also want to mention it in our debate, we did kind of get away from what it truly was about. Is it overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
No.
Some goat talk got tossed in there, and I don't know if that's fair. So really, I think it's, now that you've seen the movies, you watch them all, you have your own opinion. Do you think overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
I think, here's what I think. I think he's properly rated.
Okay.
And the reason I think he's properly rated is because of what I was saying about he is an elite. He's incredibly strong wizard. But again, I would dock him a little bit because of the fact that he needs so much support from others. But
nobody can do it alone. Nobody can do it alone.
No. So yeah. So that's kind of where I stand on it. You asked me who my favorite wizard was coming out of it before the show. I'll go ahead and share that also. And I stand with what I said before. Hermione Granger is the GOAT.
Okay.
She's not actually the GOAT, but she's incredible. She's a genius. She honestly carries a lot for him. So she was my favorite for sure.
Favorite film? Least favorite film?
Favorite film? I would say Deathly Hallows Part 2 was an immaculate film. I was captivated for the entire 2 hours and 10 minutes of the movie. And it was awesome. So that's probably my favorite. Shout out, though, Chamber of Secrets is also, I remember that was my favorite when I was younger. Watching them all over again, I also love that one again. Least favorite? Probably, honestly, Deathly Hallows Part 1, and it's tough because it had to kind of lay the groundwork for Part 2, but because of that, it was a little bit slower, wasn't as good, but I didn't dislike any of them, to be honest. So they were great.
Chris, favorite, least favorite? What do you got for me? I don't think we touched on that last week.
I think my favorite is probably just the first one. I think it's just a classic. Sorcerer's Stone. The boss fight, or whatever we want to call the ending, is not the best, but just like the setup of it, the train, they're getting the candies, they're learning their first spells, they're getting in a little bit of mischief here and there. Just a classic.
From the trolley.
What's the movie where they start out and they're at the not the Triwizard Cup. It's like the big Quidditch match. 4. So what's that one? Goblet of Fire?
Goblet of Fire is elite. Yeah.
That one's my close second. I don't know. They're all really good. My thought on this, though, is I was just thinking about this the other day. Can you imagine being in like one of the other houses, and you're not let's say you're just not a main character, you're just the average Joe. You've probably never been shown in any of the movies, and then you're just sitting there on the day they're gonna announce who wins the House Cup, and you're like, "Oh, we got this in the bag. Come on, Hufflepuff, we got this. We got all the points we need." And then Dumbledore
never win.
And then Dumbledore just comes up and he's like, "And 7,000 points to Harry Potter and Gryffindor. Gryffindor wins. Surprise!"
Yeah, I noticed that too, where it was they were leading.
It's rigged.
But due to Harry Potter's incredible bravery, 500 points for Gryffindor.
I've seen a reel, and it was this guy's like betting on the House Cup, and he's like, "Oh, I got 200 on Slytherin." And then they announce it, he starts celebrating, and then he's like, but first, a couple last minute points. He's like, "You gotta be kidding me." And then when the last one, he's like, "All right, we're tied. What's that mean?" And then he goes, "Does he just say long bottom?" And then he gives the points for Neville for bravery, and the guy's like, "It's rigged." But no, I agree with you though, being like, and then also every year knowing like, why did I have to be here when Harry's here? Something bad's gonna happen. Like, I just want a normal year at Hogwarts. That's all I want. The kids can't get it.
Dude, I was hyped at the end when Neville Longbottom, though.
Zero to hero, never
oh, my gosh. Oh, and I remember hearing rumblings back in like 2011, 2012 about Neville Longbottom coming through in the end. Oh, I witnessed it. And I was standing up clapping in my living room. I mean, Neville.
That hype?
Okay, that was a slight exaggeration, but I was like smiling while watching the film.
I mean, Kristen and I both said it yesterday. She goes like, "I wish I could experience what Dave experienced for the first time again."
Yeah,
like, not really remembering the movies and just being able to watch them for the first time. Like, not obviously you kind of know what happens, but like going into it, just watching it and not knowing the outcome, being able to do that again.
Oh yeah, and I had no idea. Like 5, 6, 7, and 8, I had never seen, so I had no clue. Like I didn't see the stuff coming with Snape, and I didn't. So yeah, and Malfoy too, kind of ended up being a decent guy. Like I didn't see any of that coming because I had never seen that. So, oh yeah, I mean, I loved it. I'm hooked, kind of now. Like I thought about ordering a wand last night. So
can I just run through a checklist of like other significant culturally relevant series or TV shows and just see if you've seen them, Dave? Because it's wild to me that you haven't seen these till now.
You're getting ready to be grossly disappointed.
Really?
Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Hit me.
I mean, we'll start with Game of Thrones because it's similar.
Nope.
None of them?
I've seen one episode and it was the biggest.
Did I say Game of Thrones? I meant Lord of the Rings. Wait, you haven't seen Game of Thrones though? Oh my god.
No. I saw one episode and it was one of the best television shows in the history of all time, and I saw it.
That's crazy.
And then,
Lord of the Rings.
But I've never seen any Lord of the Rings.
What are we doing here? I mean,
nope.
Star Wars. Any of the Star Wars?
Nope, never seen a Star Wars movie.
Not a single one?
Nope.
OG trilogy, second trilogy, or third trilogy?
And nope, and never seen The Mandalorian
Disney
or
Plus
anything.
Spin-off TV shows as well.
All right, I think that has to be the next one. I think we need to get you on Star Wars.
I've gotten heat. Like I have family members and stuff too who are like diehard Star Wars fans, and I've gotten heat for never watching those either.
What would you say your completion percentage of Marvel movies is?
Oh, you don't want to know.
He's seen Endgame and that's it.
I've only seen Endgame.
No.
You don't want to know. Dude, I just have never been into like I've just never kind of been into it. Now, Adam knows this because we live together. Like, I've always said that I don't like those types of movies and those types of shows. But then I sit down and I find myself hooked on it. So it's like, it's just a major time commitment. And I never saw them when they came out. And so, yeah, no, I know. Like, I get the joke about everyone disappearing and stuff from the Marvel movies, but like...
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Yeah, like I know that joke and I know that reference, but I've never seen any of the other ones. I've never even
seen. So
you
haven't even seen the Iron Man movies.
I was just getting ready to say that. I've never even seen Iron Man.
Oh my god.
I think that's too much of a commitment right now, but I think your next one has to be Star Wars.
Yeah, and I mean the only reason I was able to commit so much on Harry Potter is I had nothing on the docket this weekend. Like I literally watched so much TV. Because I watched college football, pro football, and watched Harry Potter for 4 days straight.
I mean, that's a great weekend.
Yeah.
You can't draw it up much better than that.
I know. It was awesome. Me and Boomer.
I don't. My opinion on Dave has just changed slightly a little bit. Just personally,
Dude.
I just don't know if I like. What can I even bond with you about anymore? How have I not even known all this? What about like other stuff like Band of Brothers?
Oh, see, now that is kind of in my wheelhouse. So I have seen that, yeah.
Oh.
I haven't seen Band of Brothers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Band of Brothers, fantastic. So then have you seen The Pacific as well?
I have seen, no. I started that, but I didn't.
Sound is good, but...
Yeah, it's not
It's good still.
But those types of things are kind of more in my wheelhouse. I love those types of movies.
And then we did a little bit of work of Eastbound and Down on the trip last week.
Yep, now that was funny.
I've been grinding on that on my own time. Yeah. I'm currently doing Entourage start to finish.
You know, I want to watch that.
Dave, you seem Entourage is great. You seem kind of like a Curb Your Enthusiasm guy.
I wanted to watch that too. Never seen it.
But I think you'd really, really enjoy that.
Yep. Yeah. Like shows that I've watched from beginning to end. There's only a couple. I've watched House of Cards, which was fantastic. I loved that. Yep. Loved that. Didn't love the last season, but Kevin Spacey couldn't do it, so you know it is what it is. And then I loved Yellowstone. Watched all of Yellowstone. Hopefully another season actually comes out. Not as good from a production standpoint, but definitely, if you know me, right down my alley. I watched all of Ballers, the
great show. Fantastic.
Yeah. Yep.
Stranger Things.
I've seen all of Stranger Things.
Good.
All of the show You on Netflix.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's just to name a few. There's a couple others, but I can't remember right now. But
wow. I mean, we're like polar opposites. I feel like I've seen everything. Like, I challenge listeners to comment series or significant shows, and I'll let you know if I've watched them, and also comment some things that Dave just needs to get locked away in the repertoire. And we'll start a running list, and Dave's just going to be locked down with homework for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at this. I have improved on this, but I have only seen bits and pieces, certain episodes of The Office. Never every episode.
Oh my god, I can't believe we didn't even think about it. Parks and Rec, The Office.
Yep.
Never seen Parks and Rec. I've never even seen one episode of Parks
Brooklyn
and Rec.
Nine-Nine.
No. Other than that clip from, isn't that the movie where the show, I mean, where Andy Samberg's in that?
Yeah.
I've seen the one clip everybody's seen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, other than that, no.
All right. Well, we'll start a list.
All right. Well, like you said, we'll start a list. We'll get you on your homework. We'll turn the ship around.
Yep. Sounds good to me. I'm all in on that.
All right. So I sent you guys this video. We didn't talk about it much, but this is my shower thoughts for this week because I've been deep thought on this one. So the video I saw, it was Usain Bolt in his prime. So his 9.58 second 100 meter dash. You race Usain Bolt for $100,000, and it's $10,000 off for every 10 meters of a head start you give yourself. So if you say you can run 90, he can run 100. You only get 90,000, not 100,000. how much of a head start do you give yourself to make you feel confident that you're beating him in that race?
So it's 10,000 per 100 yards?
No, so 100-meter race.
100,
Sorry,
100-meter race.
$10,000 less for every 10 meters you give yourself as a head start. So, like, if you think you can run a 50 faster than he can run the full 100, you only get $50,000.
I'll tell you right now, I'd need to be right next to the finish line. I'm getting $5.
Give yourself 10 meters.
I think I could probably
give yourself the cool 10K.
Realistically, 10 meters, I'll get 10,000 and I'll leave happy about it.
Okay.
But there's a chance that I need to be next to the finish line if I'm going to be also completely honest. But y'all are better athletes than I.
I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. If you told me to run at a full sprint right now, something's breaking, something's popping, something's ripping, tearing. This Mack truck doesn't sprint anymore.
Okay.
So what I'm going to go 10,000. Yeah, I'm going to go 10,000 with
You're
Dave.
just going to take the 10K.
Whoa. You're a better athlete than me. You got to go to 20. I think you could run 20 meters before he finishes 100.
I don't even know how far 20 meters is.
I mean, I don't know either.
A yard is 3 feet. A meter's a little bit more than a yard.
So 3.5 feet. So you have to run. What is that? Like 60?
2 first downs, Chris.
Yeah.
Dude math. 2 first downs,
yards.
and he has to run
20 yards.
And he has to run a football field.
Oh. If he's got to run the whole football field, I can get in. I can get in the end zone. I can get
back
in.
of the end zone.
Yeah. I can get in. I can get in from the 30.
You're in the red zone.
I could beat him from the 30. I could beat him from the red zone.
Okay. So you're going 30. You're going 10 yards outside of the red zone. You got him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just so you know, he's running the length of that football field in under 10 seconds. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah, he's running from one end zone to the other end zone in like 9.8 seconds or something.
All right, well, let's just think about it. My 40-yard dash time is probably, what, 7.2? Is that realistic? I don't know what, like, I'm just thinking I'm probably half as fast as an NFL athlete, so let's say
if
it's
you can
probably
run
like
the
40-yard
dash in 7.2, then you're beating him from 40 yards.
Yeah.
Do you think I could do that? I think I probably could. That seems reasonable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to go 30 just to be safe.
I might be overconfident. I think I could do a 40-meter head start. So I think I run 60, he runs 100, and I think I got him.
I might have to go out to a football field and time this and just see what happens.
Can you please get someone to record that?
Yeah, of course, for content purposes. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think I could do 60.
Should we all do it?
I think even... Oh, I'm going to, for sure.
I think
you
we
can
got
see
to,
me
Dave.
on the...
I want to see
I
Dave
think we got to, Dave.
sprint 10.
5-yard line.
Dave,
you could walk 10 meters in 9.58 seconds.
You're right. For the content, I'll do it.
Let's all just let's all just well, I think we got to put our money where our mouth is. So we just got to go to where we're calling. So I'm going to say 30. Adam, you're going to say what?
For the sake of I want the money.
50, I'm going to lose my mind.
No, I'm saying
he
60.
Said 60.
No way.
He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man.
Dude, I can run 60 meters and I can run 60 meters in less than 9.58 seconds.
All right, dude, well, these are going to be great videos.
This could be good. You'll catch me at the 15-yard line.
Do we want to do it on the football field as opposed to a track? Just find
it's got to be on the football field just for
math. For dude math.
That's the only math I know.
I'm probably gonna roll an ankle on the 5 and have
I'm
to
probably gonna tear something. That's what I'm saying.
My right ankle's gonna blow out on the 5-yard line.
I might also try and run a 40 too, just to see what my 40 time is.
All right. Well, we have content.
Great. We got work, homework.
Yeah, we'll put it out there. once again, this will be another thing, little fan participation. Let us know if you think from the distances that we said, we'll put it out there, but if you think that we can or can't do it. I feel confident. I do. I almost wanted to push it back to 70. I was feeling crazy.
That's why.
Oh, you've lost your mind. Respectfully.
We'll see.
Respectfully. I love you, but you've lost your mind.
We'll see.
What?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Favorite segment, no. Dave's legal tip, just the tip of the week.
Adam,
give it
cut
to
me
us.
off. Cut me
Give
off.
Give it to us, Dave.
It's the legal tip of the week, just the tip, brought to you by Shank It Golf. Use Boys Brunch 15 at shankitgolf.com, 15% off your order. This week's legal tip, just the tip of the week, has to do with LLCs. That's limited liability companies, for all those out there who don't know what that means. If you or a friend is considering starting a business, you should always consider starting either an LLC or what's called a limited partnership, also known as an LP, whenever starting a business. What this does is it protects you as an individual from liability for anything that has to do with your business. So if you, for example, are running like a restaurant or you're running a podcast, for example, and you say something that could get you in trouble, or someone decides they're going to file a lawsuit against you, what an LLC does is protects your personal assets from being taken or from your personal liability in said lawsuit. So any assets of the LLC are the only thing that someone would have access to, a plaintiff in one of those cases, versus if you are what's called a sole proprietorship, where you don't have an LLC, then if you get sued, all of your personal assets, including your house, your car, your dog, your couch in your living room, could be taken and sold for money for fulfilling a judgment in a case or a settlement in a case. So it's always important to set up those LLCs to protect yourself. The only way that you're going to get in trouble or those things could get taken is if you do something intentional. That's called corporate piercing the corporate veil is what that is called. Kind of fancy. And so only intentional actions can be can lead to your items being taken when you don't have an LLC. So that's my legal tip, just the tip of the week this week. Any questions, boys?
Yes.
No questions.
I
no
do
questions
have
for me,
Mr. Fisher. Financially, am I also protected in that regard? So if my business, my LLC goes bankrupt, is that going to protect my assets and my credit score and things like that personally?
It could if you have anything connected. So say you have a bank account that's in your name and in the LLC's name, or a credit card. The credit card would be a better example. Then yes, it could affect it. When it comes to the financial sides of things, I will tell you that it can have an effect on your credit score because of the fact that you're affiliated with it.
Right.
So from that aspect, it doesn't provide as much protection. But there are ways to set things up, like putting your house in an LLC or things like that, that could provide additional protection.
Yeah, and then I think just for the people out there that are curious about it, there is some benefits to it as well, like being able to write off things and just being able to operate a business within that LLC is going to provide you some advantages as well, correct?
Of course. So like from a tax standpoint, that's the way that people usually like to consider it, is if you have a vehicle or that's the best example. And the most common example is if you have a car that you put in an LLC's name, or trying to think of like any income, for example, that comes through an LLC, it's taxed at a lower rate than it would be for personal income. But you do get a write-off for assets that are held in an LLC, such as a vehicle, that decrease the amount of taxable income. For example, like depreciation on a car or on a house from a year to year. It counts towards lowering your taxable income.
Awesome. Great.
Yep. So this segment is solely for informative purposes. It's not legal advice. and the decision to hire an attorney is important and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Dave, you might have given us more than just the tip this week, but as always, I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I had a lot to say this week. It was a question that people have presented, including Chris, to me, wanted to hear about it, and so I went all in on it.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Now, exactly. Chris, I know you texted us. You had some thoughts on a controversial topic. I feel like something a lot of people get heat for, and I don't know if it's warranted, but bandwagon fandom. Obviously, that can be in sports. That could be just hopping on a fashion trend, maybe. Really, bandwagon applies to anything. But I know you had some pro-bandwagon thoughts, and I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, so born and raised in St. Louis. And I will always be a diehard Cardinals fan and a diehard Blues fan. But I would say that I've actually been given the luxury, with the Rams leaving, that I kind of have a choice now, right? I get to choose who I want to be a fan of. I lived in Kansas City for a while. They won 2 Super Bowls while I was living there. They're a great team. They're fun to root for. Does that make me a bandwagon fan? Probably not, because I was living there, so I get a little bit of leeway. But what might make me a bandwagon fan is this right here.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez. Look at this. Oh, God. Oh!
Now,
Jersey.
Some people might say it's controversial.
People weren't ready.
I did not see that coming.
Some people might think it's a little controversial to own both a Chiefs jersey and a Bills jersey. But here's what I have to say on the topic. If you don't have a team and you're afforded the luxury of rooting for whoever you want, you're in the best spot in the world. I mean, it's so much fun to be able to be like, I'm a Josh Allen fan, I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan, I'm this fan. And being able to wake up any given weekend and deciding who you're going to root for. I might get some flack from it, but I mean it's fun. It's a blast.
That's fair weather, not bandwagon.
Okay, so I would say
it's kind of a combination.
I'm 100% buying a 49ers jersey this year. So I'm getting a Christian McCaffrey's, and so a lot of it has to do with fantasy football, right? So I'm a big fan of usually who's on my team, but I pick people that I enjoy and that I like to watch, and I'm going to be a fan of them. And for example, I just don't think there should be hate to it, because I get the fact of like I root for this team every year in and out, and regardless of the outcome, I'm going to be that fan. I get that. And I think if you have I think if you're in Chicago, I think you could start rooting for other teams than the Bears at this point. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Being a Bears fan is the worst type of fan.
That's rough. But like, for example, this weekend, Adam and I put a little bet on some soccer.
Yep.
And I'm a Liverpool fan now. Does that make me a bandwagon fan, or does that just make me a boy that wants to ride with my boys? I don't know.
Don't put me in that bandwagon.
So,
not a Liverpool guy.
So I have my thoughts. So I have no problem with bandwagon fans as long as you are open and transparent that you are being a bandwagon fan. So you made the comment, you lived in Kansas City, you're from St. Louis, it was easy for you to pick the Chiefs. And here in St. Louis now, we have so many people that are Chiefs fans, and they act like they've been fans since day one. And it's so hard to say, because obviously they've been great pretty much since the Rams have left. But it's so easy to pick a good team. Like, if when the Rams left, the Chiefs were the second worst team in football, there'd be a lot less Kansas City Chiefs fans in St. Louis.
For sure.
But like you said, no one wants to... If you have the pick of the litter, no one wants to pick a team that sucks.
No.
So I've been a Liverpool fan since freshman year of college. That was 2013. That year, Liverpool finished second. Historically, they are one of the best clubs of all time in the Premier League. I've seen a clip, I think it was James Corden, and he was like, any American soccer fan that is a fan of the Big Six, so that's Man City, Man U, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Anyone that is a fan of the Big Six from America, he does not take seriously as a soccer fan because like you're just picking one of the good teams. But I think that's kind of what every like famous foreign, not American person that comes to America does with the sports teams they pick. Like every celebrity that lives in LA that's not from America, I'm sure is a Lakers fan. And they'll be like, "Oh, well, I moved to LA, that's who I root for." Well, why aren't you a Clippers fan? Because the Clippers suck. You pick the good team.
Yeah, totally.
So I think it's easy to hop on people and be like, "Oh, you just pick them because they're good." Well, yeah. No duh. When the Rams were here, we watched the losingest team of back-to-back decades. If I now can pick anyone I want, I'm not going to pick a garbage team.
So,
but like I said at the beginning, I think you just need to be open and transparent. Like, yeah, I'm picking them because they're good. Don't act like, oh, I've been with them since day one. I've always liked the Chiefs. Back in the Alex Smith days, pre-Patrick Mahomes. Like, Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson. Name me a player on the Chiefs before that era, and then yeah, I'll believe you. Otherwise, just be like, yes, I picked them because they're good. Just be transparent.
Well, I think it's just a question of what is a fan, right? Is a fan only someone who has historical knowledge and knows all these players and that, or is the fan the guy in the stands that's screaming the loudest? I don't know.
Open to interpretation.
You put me up against any diehard fan in the stadium, I'm drinking and cheering with the best of them.
I mean, there's different types of fans.
Yeah.
Different. I mean, there's, and I kind of see both sides to this, but I've always been kind of a glutton for punishment. So I was a season ticket holder for the Rams when they were in St. Louis. I loved them. They left, and I did not want to pick a good team. And the reason I didn't want to pick a good team, it was, one, I felt like there was unfinished business as a Rams fan. It's like I want to see them come out of that. Now, I hated them when they moved, so I had to pick another team that sucked. And so at that time, I was like, I'm going to root for the Browns. Yeah. Like, I picked the Browns. And my thought process behind that and why I picked, so we're talking about soccer. I've been a Newcastle fan since like sometime in college is when I decided I was going to start watching English Premier League loosely. And so that was who I picked as my team, and they sucked. Well, when they turn it around and then they become good, like Newcastle's doing now, then it's like, oh, I was there before they were good. And it's almost like it makes it more
great. Historically great franchise.
Do you think that provides you more enjoyment, though, than I'm getting out of it?
Perfect example, counter to that. And I'm not saying there's any part of this that's different because the Blues are in St. Louis. So I was born and raised a Blues fan.
Right.
But the Blues had never won the Stanley Cup. So when they won the Stanley Cup, it was unbelievable feeling. Like, I took that. I was even quoted as saying as I would have the Cardinals suck for 10 years just to get me a Stanley Cup for the Blues. And that's kind of happening. Yep, that's
but
on
like,
me again.
I would consider myself. I would consider myself like I enjoy the Blues. I went to some Blues games growing up, but I've never had season tickets. Never went to more than one or two games a year growing up. Like I couldn't tell you he was even on the roster right now. But I was in the Enterprise Center when they won the Stanley Cup. Confetti raining down on me, tears falling out of my eyes. So, like, you don't have to be this diehard fan your whole life to really connect with the experience and have just as good of a time. So that's all I'm saying. And I think my other point that I'd like to make is, let's not look down upon bandwagon fans. Let's be happy we're in a spot where we can draw in the bandwagon fans and take them under our wing and make them lifelong fans rather than say, get out of here. You didn't like them before, so you can't like them now. It's just like if you had never tried pizza before and I gave you a piece of pizza and you were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm like, well, you can't like it because you hadn't had pizza before. That's kind of crazy, right? So just
like me and Harry Potter.
Welcome us with open arms.
You can't tell me I can't like Harry Potter.
Exactly.
For me, just with that last point, it just depends. So, like, as a lifelong diehard Cardinals fan, if someone from Chicago, who also their entire life was lifelong diehard Cubs fan, then moved to St. Louis and is like, you know what? Now I'm a Cardinals fan. I'm gonna be like, no, you can't jump ship like that.
Yeah, you can. Come on in.
See,
buy season tickets.
No,
let's go.
See,
that's terrible.
I would not be happy about that. But if someone like foreign exchange student from Ecuador comes in and is like, I want to become a baseball fan, I like the Cardinals, I'll be like, heck yeah, be a Cardinals fan. Because I'm not sure if they really watch professional baseball in Ecuador. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that person, absolutely on the bandwagon. And then once, also like you said, with the Rams leaving, if your team leaves you, you're a free agent. You can sign with whoever you want.
Well, and that's kind of my thing with the Chiefs. Like, I don't really, I think I differ a little bit from you on this and the fact that I don't mind people in St. Louis being Chiefs fans. I mean, like, I've never had anything against the Chiefs. The Rams and Chiefs had this like fake like rivalry, but they only played one game in the preseason. It wasn't a rivalry. And so I don't mind that at all. If you want to be a Chiefs fan, they're the team in Missouri. Like, there's arguments against that also, but like, I don't mind you being a Chiefs fan if you're from St. Louis. I mean, they were good. And
like I said, the only thing I want people to preface it with is be honest about your bandwagonism. Don't give me the sob story of the Rams left. They're the closest team. I can go to their games because there's several people that have said that to me, and I know for a fact they've never been to Arrowhead. Just be honest with me that you're picking them because they're good, not because they're convenient. Because like I said, if when the Rams left, the Chiefs were the second worst team in football, there'd be a lot less Chiefs fans in St. Louis.
For sure, but you also did say that when they left, they're a free agent. So what I've been doing is I've just been riding free agency, signing one-year contracts every year.
One-year contracts?
And just living the dream, man.
See, but once again, you're putting it on the airwaves, you're being honest about it. So I got
no
qualms
I'm not
going to
throw shade, and I'm not going to be like, I'm a diehard. But, like, if you call me up next weekend and you say, hey, we're riding on this cricket team, I'm a diehard fan of that cricket team now. Just
love it.
Are you watching Liverpool next week, or what's the deal?
I probably will. I mean, I listened to it. I didn't even watch it. I listened to the Liverpool game in the car. Do you know how boring it is to listen to soccer?
I do.
It's rough. They don't even talk that much. The announcers don't even tell you, there could be 8 passes and you won't even know what happened. They're just like, and a shot on goal, and you're like, that other team just had the ball at the other end of the
field. How'd we get there? No. I love
but it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Good fun. Yeah. Good fun.
It's all good fun.
All right. No. Let's get into... Dave, did you have closing thoughts? I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut you off there.
No, I'm good with it. Let's move on. I'm ready for the next topic, baby. Throw it on me.
We're going a fan favorite. We'll wrap it up here. Wavelength game. So once again, reoccurring. We've done it every week. 1 is bad, 30 is good. We're doing 1 through 30 this week. If we don't get it right, we'll do 1 through 30 again next week. We'll keep going until we get it right. I am the one asking the questions this week, so I'll be relying on Dave and Chris. Premise of the game.
Shoot me that number while he's talking.
Premise of the game, I have to ask questions and they have to give answers based on the questions I ask, that it'll fall between 1 and 30, and at the end I have to guess what I think that number is. We started at 1 through 10. Now we're up to 1 through 30. Obviously, it'll get more difficult the further we go.
All right. Close your eyes.
You got it?
Got it. I got it.
All
right. 1 sucks, 8 and 30's great.
Yes, 1 through 30, 1 bad, 30 good.
Love it.
First question. Adam Sandler movies.
Oh gosh. Okay. This is a good.
Yeah, I can work
good
with it.
One.
Whoever wants to lead us off.
Dave, you go first because I got to think of the name of it.
Okay.
I mean, if you can describe it, I can get you there.
No. I got
it. I'm good.
All right, you go.
I'm gonna go. I gotta make sure it exists first. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Grown Ups 2.
Okay.
See, this is another tough one, but this is the whole point of the Wavelength game,
Man,
so we got to be on the same.
So many good movies. And looking at these, wow.
That's why I felt like it was good for 1 through 30.
I pulled them up here on the screen. So you said Grown Ups 2?
Grown Ups 2.
All right, I think that I'm going to go with the movie Jack and Jill. Do you know that one?
I do. That opens up my pool a little bit for what I was thinking. But we got thoughts. All right. Second question. Celebrity that me, Adam, would like to get a beer with.
That's a tough question. All right.
These are good. I like the creativity in these questions, though.
Oh, I feel good about the ones I got.
Okay. Celebrity that you, Adam Reichman, would want to have a drink with.
Yep.
Okay. I am going to go with... I'm going to go with Travis Kelce. Chris had his jersey on earlier.
Interesting. Who's he dating?
I think he's dating that one girl. Oh,
Sandra Bullock?
I don't think Carrie Underwood.
All right.
I think that's it.
I'm going to go sports broadcaster. This guy's super famous. If you haven't heard his name, that's crazy. I'm going to go Kirk Herbstreit.
For reference, Chris had no idea who Kirk Herbstreit was like 2 weeks ago.
Just heard his name for the first time ever. So,
which is bananas. Banana Land.
Okay. So, I think I'm going to do 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably need a couple. These are tough questions.
I know. 2 more questions. This one's going to be even tougher for you. Female celebrity that my fiance would not want me to go to dinner with.
So it's
that's like a double negative. What?
I know. So like 30 is like absolutely not, and 1 is like she'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What in the world? All right, Chris, you got one?
I'm gonna go Oprah.
What? Oprah.
Wait. 30?
30 is not a chance in heck.
Yeah, okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good answer. Okay. I'm going to go with Amy Schumer.
Okay. All right.
You thought about these questions, didn't you?
I did.
Because it's hard to come up with them on the spot.
I like the creativity. So, final question. We're just going to guess after 4, but this is the final question. Sporting event that you would want to see live. So, like, it could be World Cup final, it could be Stanley Cup Game 7, or it can be, like, the Thursday night football matchup between the Colts and the Broncos. Like, I need specifics.
Okay.
I got mine.
Arkansas at Ole Miss this Saturday.
That really puts a wrinkle into where my numbers were. But okay.
What? Okay. All right. I'm gonna go.
That throws me off.
I'm gonna have comments after this. All right. Okay.
I feel like that just ruined it. I'm gonna go.
No. Calm down.
The 800 at the Olympics.
The 800-meter dash at the Olympics?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
This is all over the place.
So I'm going to go with the number I had written down.
Wait, hold on.
And Dave, the reason I think you went with that matchup is because I've been telling you how bad Arkansas football is this year. So going to Arkansas at Ole Miss, you're being an away fan at a team that I believe is just going to kick the absolute snot out of my alma mater, the Arkansas Razorbacks. So 1 through 30. I'm going to go with the number 8.
What?
Are you for real? Are you guys messing with me?
No, that is it.
Oh.
Round 1.
Yep.
8 circle.
Yes.
Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
Wow. Woo. So you were spot on with your analysis as to why I picked Arkansas at Ole Miss.
So
it doesn't matter. Arkansas is going to get just absolutely annihilated.
So because of your guys' first 3 answers, I knew it was a low number, and then when you said that, I was like, that seems like a game I'd want to go to. Why does he think it'd be low? And then I had to talk it out a little bit.
Exactly. Okay. And Chris, I'm not bashing your 800 pick, but like, why would he want to ever go? That would be, in my opinion, that would be like a 4.
Maybe, but I also put a little bit of that psychology. He just heard the number 8. Maybe it's 800.
Okay.
So you also said 800 at the Olympics.
Yeah,
so if I'm
the Olympics,
in the stands at the Olympics, I'm seeing the 100-meter dash probably if it's the same day.
That's true. Yep,
I'm at the Olympics. So there's a little more to that. He didn't pick the most exciting event, but I'm still at the Olympics.
I could have said 800-meter relay. That would be better probably, but still.
But either way.
Wow.
I mean, we
got it. We got it.
And you had it on the first round with...
On Jack and Jill and Grown Ups too.
See, I was worried about Jack and Jill because I think that's one of his worst movies.
But we're talking 1 to 30, so it's definitely bottom third.
And then you also have to think a little bit because you said Grown Ups 2, which isn't his worst, but obviously nowhere near his best. And then he said Jack and Jill, so I had to go with kind of like, so I had 10 through 15 based on your guess.
Yep.
Is where I thought it was, and then I had to open it up to 5 through 15 after Dave's guess, so I went with 8 as kind of like the middle ground in between there.
Beautiful.
Yep. Wow. That was impressive.
How about it?
That was impressive. So next week we're going 1 to 40.
And it's you. 1 to 40.
Oh, great. Redemption tour.
Numbers.
Yeah.
I suck at this game.
We'll do it right this time, though. We got your headspace off last time. We messed it up, but now we got a good rhythm. We're riding hot.
I think as a self-aware individual, I am the weakest link at this game, but that's okay. That's okay.
And
it worked. It worked for everybody else.
Clearly, I put some thought into my questions. Put some thought into it. There's so many possible answers, so you got to give something that actually has a range of 1 to 40.
Yep.
Yeah, you kind of have to work in segments like you did, Adam. Segment 1, and then narrow, and then narrow, and narrow down.
Yep.
Wow. Electric, boys. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a better way to go out than that.
Wow, that was amazing. Incredible.
I thought we were going to be stuck on 30 for a while, but no. One take wonder. I thought you guys were messing with me. I'm not even kidding.
No, we nailed it, dude. We got video evidence of it.
I love it.
So
as always,
hold on real quick because we have talked a little bit about having our first guest on the show.
Yeah.
When did we have that planned for?
That is scheduled for the week of October 17th.
So
that's
not next
2 weeks?
week, but the following.
All right.
Yep.
So 2 weeks from now, we'll talk about it a little bit more on the next episode and introduce who we're going to have on. But first guest coming on the show soon. Get excited.
We're stepping up. It's a work in progress.
Moving up.
I love it. As always, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Tune in again next week. That's Nightly Nonsense.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Awesome.